Hey, Tony Gadsden here, popping in. I want to talk to you about something that, came across my desk yesterday or the day before. And it really comes down to when a woman should take a man back. Now, I'll be honest with you. What I see mostly, typically when I deal with men in one on one sessions, and I could think of right now, I have one male client who went to my mentor.life to book a session with me. And he's talking about branding. He's talking about branding, building his business. He's in a relationship, it's healthy. He's treating his girlfriend right. And so he's talking about branding. All my other male clients are talking about getting their woman back and or trying to be better, do right for their woman because she's on the verge of leaving. And so typically men, when it comes to relationships, men focus on the pound of cure instead of the ounce of prevention. And guys come to me with these impossible situations a lot of times. Sometimes it's not impossible. Well, a lot of times it's not impossible because women take men back very often. So a guy typically has like a 90% chance to get a woman back. And whatever that means to a woman watching this, let it mean what it means. But a guy typically has a 90% chance to get his woman back. That's how often women take men back and put up with so much stuff. So whenever a guy comes to me for coaching, I'm always like, if you really trying to change, if you really trying to grow, trust and believe she probably ain't going nowhere, but make sure you actually trying to grow. And I ask him those tough questions like, are you going to get this woman back just to use her again, just to cheat on her again, just to dog her out again? Because if you're going to do that, you're going to H-E-double-L with a hot little hut in the corner of Satan's house. If that's what you coming to me for, to pretend like you trying to do better just so you can get her back and then dog out all over again. Like, it's going to be some stuff coming to you for doing that to that woman. And I give them tough questions. We have those tough conversations. And I really ask a man, and I take him through and I ask him, I say, are you sure there's not someone else out there for you? Are you sure that you are meant for her? Are you sure she is the one? Because if you did all of this that you did to her, she may not be the one for you. Sounds like you don't really love her. Sounds like you think you love her. Sounds like you want a little partner, but this is not your wife, based on what I'm hearing. And so I take them through that really. And 10% of the time a guy will say, you know what? You're right. You're right. She's not the one. The other 90% of the time, men will be like, no, I really love her. I really love her. I want to be with her. And then for me, it's a moment where I get to put the mirror in my face and just look and say, like, man, why are we so stubborn and stupid? Stubborn and stupid as men. Those are the words that come to mind. Stubborn and stupid. I'm like, why do we do this? Do we do the stuff we do and then talk about we love her and we want her back? And that's why I did the video on the human teddy bear. And it's like, that child loved that teddy bear, but really take that teddy bear through the ringer. But if that teddy bear get lost, be boohoo crying, be crying their eyes out. You take that teddy bear, you do something to that teddy bear, they lose it. So it's like, how do you love this teddy bear when you dragging it through the dirt, you yanking off the arm, you keep plucking off the eye, you throwing it up against the wall when you get mad? How do you love this teddy bear? And that's really what men do. Men use women as a human teddy bear. And then when the woman wakes up in Toy Story, when she wake up and she start to think, she like, what in the world am I doing? Let me get up out of here. And she ready to escape the Toy Story. Okay. And then the man losing his mind. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He trying to set up meeting with Louis Farrakhan, TD Jakes. He trying to go on the radio. He trying to put billboards up. He want to fly the plane across the sky that say, will you marry me? It's like all of a sudden, now the man want to do everything under the sun to get the woman back. And I'm sitting there like, wow, I really used to be out there. I was a little different. I was just like, I'm gonna do what I do, and if a woman wanna leave, she could leave. I ain't chasing you. So I was a worse of a dog, and I knew that what I was doing meant that I didn't love this woman. Now being on this side of it, I don't be understanding. Like I really be lost. I be needing to watch somebody video. I'm like, who gonna coach me? Since I'm coaching everybody, who finna coach me on this? Cause I'm confused. Cause a lot of times I'm just like, how do you take a woman through all of that and then talk about you love her? And I'm talking about, it be a lot of stuff. I ain't talking about he slipped up and was emotionally cheating one time. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about these men be taking women through the ringer. You hear me? Through all kind of stuff. And I be like, wow. But listen to me. Let me tell you this. If you're a woman watching this, now you're going to do what you want to do. Now, one thing you got to realize is in every video, I can't address every caveat and nuance, okay? So you're going to have to watch all the videos, and you can't judge my videos by a title because I talk about a whole lot more than what the title suggests. And sometimes I got to title it random because I don't want to get flagged by YouTube because a title can't have certain words in it on my channel. So understand that. So you may have to sit and watch 15 minutes just to see where this thing going at, and it might be your answer. But a lot of y'all come thinking that I'm genie in the box, Jack in the box or genie in the bottle, and all these video requests, and I already got videos on that, but you ain't took the time to sit down and go click on the titles and listen to the videos. Okay, so understand that there's some hidden messages in some of these videos that got a title that you keep skipping over thinking that ain't for you. All right, understand that. Now let me tell you this right here. Never ever take a man back if he put hands on you. Okay, and when I say put hands on you, all right, I'm talking about with intent to do that. Okay, if he put hands on you, never take a man back after that. Okay, he did anything like that, never take a man back after that. Like if you want to take a man back after he cheated, if he cheated one time, okay. If he cheated 2 times, I've still seen people work through that. Now, if we go to 3, 4, 5 times, you wasting your time. But again, all this is a personal choice. But one thing I'm telling you is if a man put hands on you, never take a man back. Because listen, although, yes, y'all want to argue the mute point of, although, yes, you can die from emotional abuse. Yes, and y'all got under when I'm skating over some of these words, because some of these words, is not on here. Okay, it's supposed to be on here. So, yes, you can, meet the Lord, go meet the Lord off of emotional. Yes, you could go meet the Lord off of mental, off of verbal, but that's a long, slow. You actually have to be mentally ill. So if you have to have something going on in you, but if somebody calling you out your name, talking to you, talking down to you, talking to you like trash, for that to literally kill you, for you to want to do something to yourself, then that is something mentally that's going on there that has not been addressed. So it's the situation to where a lot of times, like, somebody may do something to themselves in the name of what somebody else done to them. But then you'll see several other people, the whole world has happened to them and they don't do anything to themselves. Like, everything has happened to them. I coached a woman one time, or not coached, but I wrote a book with a woman one time who was taken advantage of by one man. Told her mama on that man. Mama didn't believe it. Mama went and told the man about it, what she was saying and how she lying. The man like, oh wow, mama don't believe it. Stepdaddy heard about it because mama didn't believe it. So then stepdaddy stepped in, started taking advantage. And the young lady at this time was 8 and 9. Told mama didn't believe that stepdaddy was taking advantage. Then another man heard about it in the community. He started taking advantage. But now it came out because now the young lady had turned 10 and that man got her pregnant. So she turned up pregnant at 10. And then mama went back to the first man that she was talking to about it because he hold a position, important position. And that man told the mama to make the daughter get married. So now the daughter got married at 11 years old to a grown man. So now I done seen several instances where the whole world done been thrown at a person. And that lady that I'm telling you about became a millionaire 3 times over. Started multiple businesses in different industries. Never went past 9th grade, but became a millionaire. So I say that to say, when I say, verbal and emotional ain't gonna kill you, what I mean by that is it doesn't have the power. It's not physically taking you out. You don't have to take yourself out. That's on the mental side of things. But when it comes to physical, you ever seen the movie He Got Game with the NBA player Ray Allen in it and Denzel Washington playing the daddy, and he gets into it with his wife and he push her and she fall and she hit the temple on the stove, hit her temple on the stove, lose her life. You see what I mean? It was a push. It wasn't no knockdown, drag out. It was a push. And that happens. And so that's why I say, and this is what you have to understand. So when a man cheats on you, when a man yells at you, curses at you, call you out your name, he can tell himself, he can be telling himself that he loves you. Most men who cheat on a woman claim to love the woman that they're cheating on. Most men claim to love the woman. Now, I know it doesn't make much sense. You're like, you don't love me if you cheating on me. How do you love somebody and cheat on them? Most women who cheat on a man claim to love the man. So cheating is something that people claim to be able to do while loving the person that they cheating on. Now, the reason why that is so is because there is different levels to love. Love is not one size fits all. If you read Corinthians 13 and you believe that that is the definition of romantic love, then that would cover forgiving cheating and forgiving, beating, and everything in Corinthians 13. Now, if you believe that's the definition of romantic love, I don't believe that's the definition of romantic love. I see that as God's love, us loving another person like a stranger or an enemy, or the way God loves us. I don't see that as talking about relationships in Corinthians 13. A lot of people do. But when you think about this thing, love in the man-made definition that's not inspired by God, the dictionary says love, one definition of love is a strong liking, a strong affection. So to be sexually attracted, like all of those things are definitions of love. So when we using man-made definitions of love, then technically a person can love you and cheat on you, because that's what they're telling themselves. Now, there's also a difference between loving someone and being in love with someone. You see what I mean? I love my laptop. Okay, I love my laptop. Am I in love with my laptop? No, I'm looking to replace it now. I'm looking to buy me a new one now. Get right on rid of it. That's the difference between love and in love. See, when you in love with somebody, you don't want to bring them any stress, any worry, any harm. You want to cherish them. You don't want to do anything to hurt them. And so I think about it all the time. I'm like, because I'm dealing in love and relationships, but I'm like, I could easily cheat. I could easily cheat, because it's plenty of women who don't have a clue who I am. And I could say my name, John Henry, and oh, you named after the great John Henry, the guy in the book, the fiction? Yeah, I'm actually John Henry III. And depending on her race or her age, she may not have a clue who I am online. And so I could easily cheat, because and the other reason why I know I could easily cheat is because the state of women today. Women getting into bed with men in 0.5 seconds. So I literally could go to the grocery store, meet a woman, talk to her, text her right after we leave the grocery store, be at her apartment or house 2 hours later, having her cooking dinner, and then fornicating. That is the state of desperation that so many women in today. That's why I talk the way I talk and do what I do. And so many women will do that and think that they are empowered, think that they are feminists, think that they empowered, think that they in control of their life, and will pat themselves on the back talking about men do it, I can do it too. So it's like, okay, so men going and catching diseases, men building soul ties, and you want to copy that? You want to do that? Like, that's what you pride yourself on? The ability to be dumb like a man? Wow. Congratulations. Here is a cookie. 500, Alex. It's like, come on. But that's what's going on today. So you know what? I could easily cheat. But I have no desire to cheat. And I will never cheat on my wife from the moment I fell in love. Because now listen, it also takes people time to fall in love, men and women. So before I fell in love, I was open to it. I was wondering. But when I fell in love with her, because I loved her before I was in love. But when I fell in love with her, I'm like, now I consider her pain. And guess what? I got 2 sons. I'm in love with my sons. I don't just love my sons. I'm in love with my sons. So you literally will lose your life about my sons. And if I got to watch Snap for a year to learn how to get you up out of here without it being traced, that's what I do. But you literally will lose your life about my sons, about my wife. And I don't play no game. That's why if somebody says anything about my wife, one lady, I felt bad. on the video I did with my wife when we was on the live. One lady was in the comments. She was like, she need to be quiet some and let him have some shine. Block. Then I saw another comment for her praising me, saying, "Oh, I love these videos. This is so amazing." Too late. You already blocked. You already blocked for speaking ill on the queen. If the queen want to talk, let the queen talk. Okay? She ain't got to let me shine nothing. Okay? Block. Sorry. Can't take it back. You blocked. So I don't play by those that I'm in love with. You hear what I'm telling you? So that's what you got to understand about the difference between love and in love. And that's why some people say, "Oh, I know I cheated, but I love her." "Oh, I know I cheated, but I love him." Yes, I love him, but I cheated. And so you could be sitting there like, that don't make no sense. But if you've been the person to do it, then you understand what the people trying to say. Now, I've never cheated on somebody that I say I love. For me, when I was to cheat, it wasn't loving at that time. It was me being selfish. But some people say that. But let me help you understand about this other type. So when somebody cheats on you, that may be emotional of you. Okay. Psychological of you. Okay. Now, when a man put hands, now we talking physical. So now, this right here, there can be no love in that. There is no love in that. There's no love. There's no in love. When a man put hands on you, he hates you. That is hate. That's hate. And the reason why it's hate is because he hates his life. The only time when a man will do that to a woman, okay, what I'm talking about is when he hates his life. And when I say he hates his life, I mean he's either very unhappy with the way his life is going, what he's doing, the breaks he's getting, or he literally hates himself from just his upbringing and all that he went through, all that he suffered through. He really just hates himself. He hates his life. He curses the day he was born. And he takes that out on a woman. So anytime a man gets physical, you have to go. You got to leave. When he get physical with the intent to harm, you got to leave. And the reason why I say that is it's different if y'all are arguing and you get up to walk away and he hug you, he bear hug you, or he hanging on to your ankle and you dragging him across the tile. That's different. His intent is not to harm. He literally, groveling at that. "Please, just talk to me. Please, don't leave. Please." And I did that one time with my wife. And when I went on Oprah to talk about the man that I was in college, when I was a different man, and Oprah asked my wife, she was like, "Has he ever put hands on you?" And she said, "Well, one time." And I said, "No, I ain't hit you. I was trying to hold you." That's different now. And so I understand the difference between that, because I know the difference, because I done been on both sides. I done been that grown boy that had, intentions. Now, mine was not on the level that I've seen, but it still was no love involved. It was all from self-hate. So when I was 19, 20 years old, I went through that period. And that's the largest period that it happens between the ages of 20 and 24. Studies show that's when the most, physical happens. And I believe that is the most confusing time in a man's life and in a woman's life. I've coached men who they didn't put hands, the woman put hands. I remember, coaching a man and his woman punch him in the nose. Ugh. Had him leaking. He up there licking blood. I was like, whoa, brother, what happened to you? And he was like, and that wasn't all. She body slammed me on the hood of the car. I was like, what kind of woman you dealing with? But, hey, it happened the other way around too, but men are less likely to report it because of the way men are raised. Suck it up, shut up, big boys don't cry. So it happened both ways, because there's some women that was raised very feisty, that was raped, that was abandoned, that was mistreated, that was dogged out. And so some women become a wolf, just like a man. And some women will throw hands faster than a man and really want to do damage and got the power to do damage. So I done talked to several men that nose bust, lip bust, head split open, from a woman getting angry. And in that same case, I'm saying this to the man too. You got to go. You got to go. You got to go. Now, me myself personally, I've never had a woman put their hands on me in a serious way. I've never had that happen. And I just think that every woman that I've ever talked to, they just kind of know. They just could feel my energy. And they just kind of know that Tony ain't the one to put your hands on like that. And so, not to say that anything else will happen in return, but I'm going to go to the furthest extent of what I'm trying to do. So, if I got to get on that phone, that's 911. Oh, yes. She just hit me. And I need 4 officers over here right now, immediately. Do you want to press charge? Absolutely. Win the court date. You hear me? So me, I ain't the one. We're going all the way. But a lot of men, they won't say anything. They won't call the police. They won't report anything. And so I feel like anybody I ever talked to, they just kind of knew. They just kind of could feel with me that I'm not the one. That's not going to fly. And I remember the time in college that I got into it with an ex. And it was not, don't let your mind run. It was no black eyes, bust lips, police, and all of that. It was pushing, shoving, tussling, and it was over, infidelity from the woman's side of situations. And I told that story, on Oprah later in my life. And so, but I remember being in that mindset. I remember going through that. And this is something that I would say 80% of men go through at some stage in their life, but probably less than 1% of men talk about it. And so that's how I knew I was called to be somebody to work in this space, because I was willing to be transparent about my life experiences. And although it was not the worst, although it was not, knock down, drag out, the absolute worst that has been seen, I still was in that space, in that mindset. And so I still understand what goes in there. And so, and I'm here to tell you that when things get physical, it has nothing to do with love. That's hate. And it's either self-hate or it's hate for the other person. It's hate. And on that right there, you got to leave and you can't come back. You got to leave and you can't come back. So if you hanging in the balance right now and you thinking about taking your ex back, if physicality, physical of you was a part of what you've gone through, keep going about your business. Keep going about your business. When I say recognize crazy early, I'm not talking about the man who yell at you, who curses at you. I'm talking about the man or woman who put hands. That's what I'm talking about when I say recognize crazy early. Because, and the reason why I say recognize crazy early is because there's is a progression to this. So yes, it may first be yelling, okay? Then it'll be yelling with cursing. Then it'll be yelling with cursing and name calling. Then it'll be yelling with cursing and name calling and restraint. Then it'll be yelling and cursing with name calling and restraint. Then with physical intent to do something. And that first one, that first physical intent may be a push. It may be a grab. It may be, a thump, a really hard thump. Some men got fingers like a log, and they could thump the skin off your forehead. It may be a thump, yeah. It may be a pinch. Oh yeah, some of these men out here pinching. Okay, it may be a little blow, but it's to the body. I remember in college, we had one of the other running backs. I was a running back. Scat back. I was a running back. And one of the other running backs, he was older. And he was violent. He hit me in the jaw one time. And he hit me in the jaw. He sucker punched me. I was looking the other way. He sucker punched me. And really, he hit me because he was older than me. And I took his position. The coach put me to start in front of him. And he was mad about that. But he made it like he was mad about me telling his business to my girlfriend and my girlfriend telling his girlfriend his business. That's what he said it was about. But he hit me, and it wasn't hard, It made me bite my jaw. It wasn't no swole jaw or no bust, no bleeding or nothing like that. And then, but that same gentleman in the locker room, he gave a dissertation to the team on how to put hands on your girlfriend. And his lesson to the team was, listen, you got to beat her, okay? But what you want to do is punch in the ribs. Just beat the ribs up. It'll bruise all up, but it's under the shirt. Nobody sees it. That was his lesson to the team. And I remember sitting there like, am I really getting a lesson on this? And everybody not taking notes. Not literally, but, everybody chiming in. Oh, okay, yeah, hey, how you know that? That's what I be doing. And that's why I tell women all the time, like, and this the pitifulness of men. And that's why too many men don't deal with me, because I just ain't with the pitifulness no more. But I remember when I think Trump was saying something, and he was talking about, oh, that's just locker room talk. I think he talking about grabbing a woman by the pee or something like that. He was saying, oh, that's just locker room talk. And then all these athletes came out, like LeBron, and all these athletes talking about, I don't know what locker room you was in. That ain't locker room talk. And I'm just like, man, come on, man. He ain't lying. That's the culture. That's what men teaching. That's what men think. That's the real culture. But grown boys, they're not going to say, yeah, he right. That's the culture that men have been raised and taught, that you could do whatever you want to do to a woman, and she gonna deal with it. Grown boys gonna, he lying. That ain't true. When I literally was sitting in college, and I wasn't even at no big college. I was at a private school, junior Ivy League, what they called it. Private school. So these boys come from wealth. A lot of these boys, they ain't have to get it out the mud. They come from wealth, and these the kind of conversation we having in there. How to do this to your girlfriend and no signs be shown. And you know what? It just come from self-hate. It's self-hate. It's immaturity. It's irresponsibility. So that's why I say, don't take this thing lightly. Because a lot of women have accepted this to be a part of a relationship. I remember my ex that I was with in college when I was playing football. And this was a big thing. So like you could be walking down the dorm room hallway and you just hearing screams. You're hearing screams from different rooms. And these young ladies is being, that's happening to them. And, you know, at the most, people would knock on the door. And the guy would answer the door. Is everything okay in there? Yeah, everything all right. Slam the door. But you just would hear this. And I remember when I was studying it and learning about every 9 seconds this happening. And learning about it's most prevalent between the ages of 20 and 24, which is college age, you know, which is that young, confused, lost age. But it's happening before that and after that. It's happening in high school. It's happening in middle school. And it's happening in 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s. It's happening across the board, but the studies was showing that it mostly happens between the ages of 20 and 24, which is just a high gross number. And then it's still happening in the other ages. But a lot of women, I remember when I was with that girlfriend, she told me that it happened to all her sisters and her mom. That she seen all her sisters get choked and her mom get choked. And they were a full family, you know, looked on the outside like a successful, healthy family. And so her belief was that if a relationship doesn't get physical, it's not love. And a lot of women believe that. And the reason being is because the reason why a lot of women feel like it's love is because in the moment, most men, I would say 90% of men that I done talked to that has done this, that done put hands, most men, 90% of men know that they are wrong. I would say 99% of men know that they are wrong. Now you got a percentage that's just slap crazy. That he just slap crazy. He gone. You hear me? He is gone. He is a fry. The ketchup and mustard short, the drink, the toy short. He all of that short of a Happy Meal. He is gone. You got a percentage, which may be 1%. 99% of men know that when it get to that right there, they know they're wrong. They know it's wrong. So 99% of men, that's why I call it, a lady asked me, Tony, what do you mean by WWE? You know WWE is the wrestling. So you know when you watching wrestling is fake. So they going through the motions. So he might jump up and he come down with his leg, but he holding the weight of his leg and he just let it. He let the leg hit the man, but he ain't come down all the way through. He let the leg hit him. He throwing a punch, but when he punch, he's stomping. So you hear the noise, and the guy, when the fist get here and it do like this, barely touch, the other guy do that. So WWE is fake. Now, they get hurt sometimes, and yeah, they training real, but it's not like MMA. See, now MMA is real. So they coming out swole. They coming out leaking. They contused, concussed. I mean, they literally could lose their life. That's real. Boxing is real. So what I'm saying is, most men, when they get into it with a woman, they go WWE so that she feel it, but his intent is not to end her. His intent is not to leave a showing so that he's going to jail. He don't want to go to jail, and that's why this happens so much. And so what happens is the woman takes it as if she got a whooping. She looks at it as if the same way her daddy would whoop her. Because now some of you who got whoopings, you know that every now and then you get a whipping that draw blood, but you live. If you got whipped with the wrong switch, or you got hit with the wrong part of the belt, it draw blood. It leave a bruise, a welt. If you got whoopings, then you know what I'm talking about. If you ain't get whooping, then this foreign to you, and you calling DCF for somebody you don't even know. Hey, I was listening. You over there like Karen. Yeah, I was listening to Tony Gaston video, and it just dawned on me that I just learned that African American children are being abused, and I need you to go to my African American neighbor house right now. And so some people don't know. If you never was spanked, you don't know that some of them whooping drew blood, left a bruise. And so this thing is serious. This thing is serious. And this is what happens. Guess what? If a parent keep doing that to their child and DCF ain't being called, that parent actually taking out their childhood issues, their childhood pain on their child. That parent goes from a place of love to a place of self-hate and hate, and taking it out. That child becomes that parent's human teddy bear. Oh yeah, this real. So if that happened to a woman or a man, and they grow up and get in a relationship, and it happens to them in a relationship, they equate it the same way. They look at it the same way. So the one that's is happening to, they're looking and they're saying, well, I remember my mama whooped me one time and I was bleeding, and I know she loved me. So if he did this, and yeah, kind of bust my lip a little bit, or yeah, kind of little eyes, a little purple and black, but I know he loves me. I know he loves me. And this is what women will be saying. I know he loves me because he sacrificed for me. He works 2 jobs, and like, he has never spent money on a woman. And he's bought me Tory Burch sandals. He bought me Michael Kors purse for $300. He took me to Red Lobster. And he is so cheap. He told me he is so cheap, and he's never spent money on a woman. And when we went to Red Lobster, he got me the ultimate feast. I know he loves me. And this is what I'm listening to. This is kind of emails I'm reading, kind of stuff I'm hearing. And I'm like, man, that man has spent money on every woman he ever knew. He just telling you that. How are you believing what somebody who will put hands on you to this extent, what he has to say? Man, if that man tell you the sky blue, he lying. That day the sky is green. You can't listen to nobody like that. So what you telling me what he told? Everything he told you is a lie. A man who will put hands on a woman, he had no truth with that woman. They ain't had no relationship. He hate himself and he hate her all the way. So listen to me when I'm telling you. That's one thing. Cause see, verbal, it could hurt worse than physical, emotionally, because you replay them words. But them words, it ain't gonna make you lose consciousness. Now, you might, if you not getting therapy and you don't get the help, yeah, it can destroy you slowly. But that physical, it don't take no slowly. So that ain't the argument that we here to have. And I said this in another video, and people want to, oh, verbal can kill you. Oh, emotion can kill you. And it's like, listen, we're not talking about that. We ain't talking about the long, slow, you beating yourself up and all. We're not talking about. What I'm talking about if you don't want to be gone, if you don't want to meet the Lord like this, that's what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about you feeling down and feeling sorry for yourself and you keep listening to this grown boy. You listen to a grown boy tell you that you this and that you this and that you better be lucky he with you and you worthless and you this and you that. You listen to a grown boy and you letting the words of a grown boy make you lose sleep at night, make you feel suicidal, homicidal. You listen to a grown boy, you giving a grown boy, a ignorant man, that a ignoramus could look at him and see he ignorant. A can of paint could look at him and see he ignorant. And here you got all these sense in the world and you letting this ignorant, foolish man break you down verbally, mentally, emotionally, and or physically. Come on now. Come on now. You was raised better than that. You were raised better than that. You literally letting this man have this kind of control in your life? Are you serious right now? This is an idiot. This is an idiot. Come on. What's wrong with you? It is so many other men out here than for you to be putting up with this ignorant, lost, stupidous, ignoramus of a man. Come on now. Come on now. You got to love yourself more than that. You got to get up. You need to slap yourself. You done already been letting him slap on. You need to get some baby powder, slap yourself and leave. Not literally, I'm figuratively speaking. This is a metaphor. Okay? You need to get up, smell the Folgers, and leave. Because let me tell you this. A man who will put hands, he's a grown boy. He is ignorant. He's lost. He's hurting. He's confused. He hates himself. He hates his life. And he's taking that hate out on you. But he is a punk. He is soft. Because a real man who comes into his manhood would never put hands on somebody unless it's self-defense. He will never put hands on male or female unless it's self-defense. Now understand, a real man don't let a woman put hands on him now. Don't think just because he a real man that she finna be He either calling the police, and if the police can't do nothing, a real man will defend himself now. So don't think that that's a license to go, oh, he a real man, it's a license to go use him as a punching bag. No, that ain't what that mean. That's not what that mean. Then you can find out the hard way if you want to, but that's not what that mean. Okay? But a real man is never, when he become a real man, he's never going to put hands on somebody out of anger, just cause he mad. So what you got to realize, if that happened to you, and I'm talking about anything, any kind of physical intent to harm, a pinch, a slap, a choke, a hard push into the wall, onto the floor, any of that, you got to go. Get on. I'm out of here. Got to go. Got to go. You cannot play around with it. You can't deal with it. If you got to leave when he at work, leave when he at work. Got to leave when he sleep, leave when he sleep. Go somewhere he can't reach you, can't talk to you. He can talk to the voicemail. You can hear what he talking about. You might have somebody else send him a message. She gone for good. Let it go. Let it go. Because guess what? Before that happen, it's going to be plenty of time to check him. There's going to be plenty of time, opportunity to check him. That let him know that's unacceptable. Don't be yelling at me. That's unacceptable. Don't be cursing at me. That's unacceptable. Don't be lying to me. That's unacceptable. Don't be cheating on me. There's going to be plenty of time to check him before it get physical. So when it get physical, he don't wore out all his grace. You got to go. Don't think twice about it. Don't think about coming back. I don't care if y'all got a football team together. Okay, that's 11. That's 11 children. I don't care if y'all done had 11 children together. I think I recently met a woman had 12 kids. I said, man, I ain't know they did that since the 60s or 70s. I don't care if y'all got a football team together. You finna get child support for every last one of them. And government support. Your stimulus finna look so good, that stimulus check, cause you getting $500 a head. So you finna get $5,500 for them and $1,200 for you. Whoo! You hear me? $6,700. Your stimulus is lit. So, but listen to me. You up out of there. You up out of there. If y'all got to eat government cheese and government peanut butter, that's what you need to do. If you got to get on WIC, that's what you need to do. You got to Google the local foundation that help people in your situation. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. But do not, I'm telling you. Because now, the verbal and emotional, that's going to take you out too. But one thing about that physical, it's going to get you up out of here faster. And so when I say recognize crazy, I ain't talking about, I ain't just talking about, now I'm talking about the verbal and emotional, but I'm really talking about that physical. A man who got the potential of the physical. Because when I look at the news, and I see, you know, this man done, you know, they was just showing a man who got out because of, you know, situation we in, health situation in the jail. They let the man out. The man got out, went and killed his girlfriend and the man she was sleeping with. Killed them both while he got out. They let him out because he ain't had no serious crime. Let him out so that he wouldn't catch the 19 behind bars. He come out, take her life and somebody else's life. I think it was the man that was over there. And so, I don't know if she was sleeping with him, but I think it was a man over there. Just like that. But guess what? He got emboldened. See, a man not going to do that to a woman he's only known a month, 2 months, 3 months. A man do that when he crazy, but he done built with this woman. She done tolerated him for a year, and typically it's years. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. When you look into the stories, when you look into the cases, you know, and I'm not talking about Ted Bundy now. I'm not talking about that. That's the exception to the rule that do this on first day. I ain't talking about that. We talking about the man you dealing with. We talking about your boyfriend. We ain't talking about Ted Bundy. We talking about your boyfriend. We talking about the one you tolerating that done hem you up. We talking about the one you tolerate that done the one you tolerate. That one. That's what we talking about. When you entertain that, 6 months, a year, year and a half, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, you reinforcing the behavior. So he getting emboldened. He now is building up. And if you ever been through it, that's why each instance get worse than the one before. Because it's building up. Last one good enough. Let me go a little further. Last one good enough. Let go a little further. Before you know it, you're going to meet the Lord. That was a long blank. Before you know it. So listen to me. Don't play with it. I'm dead serious. Don't play with it now. So, yeah, okay. All right. I know you got... I know you think he love you. All right, yeah, I know y'all got kids together. Yeah, I know y'all got a place together and you don't want to break your lease. What? You don't want to break your lease? Do you want to break your life? Do you want to end your life? You hollering about a lease. You hollering about letting go of business. You hollering about, you know, having to break the news to your church. They already know. They hear you hollering. They know the difference between hollers. They know the holler of the love making, and they know the other holler. They know the difference between the holler. They already know. Your children don't care nothing about that. by being with him, they ready for you to get the strength to lead. That's what they keep trying to tell you. I was talking to my sister, and she was telling me about her son, who is, I think he's 6 years old or 7 years old, giving her relationship advice. Gave her relationship advice about who to date and who not to date. This a little boy. He said, Mama, this kind of man you want because he got your back. This other guy you was talking to, no. Don't talk to a man like that. So listen, people know. This little boy know what's right from wrong. So guess what? Your grown man know what's right from wrong. He doing wrong because he choose to do wrong. And he doing wrong because you letting him do wrong. You got to go. Because you wasting time on what the devil sent you. Because see, God is not the author of confusion. If God got somebody for you, it's going to feel good. It's going to work out. Y'all problems and issues going to be trivial. It's going to be little stuff. Little tricks of the enemy that you can easily spot out and work through and get past. But when you're going through this big stuff, when you going through that man was sent by the devil. So the longer you deal with what the devil sent, because see, you praying to God for your destiny, for your desires of your heart. But when you ask God for your destiny, the devil hear it too. So he send you a distraction that look like destiny. You get caught up, you get sucked in because 90% of him look like destiny and 10% of him is that. But that 10% outweigh the other 90. So that's the trick of the enemy, to send you a man who look like he 90% of what you need, but that 10% will kill you. That 10%, you hear me? Or do you in? Will send you to meet the Lord early to talk about the desires of your heart that you did not get because you fell for the devil decoy that looked like destiny but actually was a distraction. Hey, this Tony, guys. I don't like to do recorded videos over an hour. I only do my live Q&A. I don't know when I'll be back to the live Q&A. I ain't in the spirit of it right now. So y'all just be writing down your questions and write down some good questions, because I'll be back to it hopefully soon. But right now I'm just doing videos. But hey, God bless you. Listen to me now. Listen to this video again now. Listen to the video again. The video is very serious. Listen to the video again. Do not take this lightly. Do not take this lightly, because in this whole video, you ain't see me crack a smile. I ain't telling no jokes. I ain't laughing. I'm very serious on this now. I'm very serious on this. But hey, God bless you, and we'll talk soon. And to the life coaches, keep doing what you're doing. People need you. I congratulate every life coach that's on my mentor.life coaching. I coached a lady yesterday who booked me for a session, told me she got booked for her first session in the first week of signing up. So, hey, y'all keep going, because I can't be the only one. I need you out here doing what you're doing. Put your link on all your social media and let your friends and family hire you for sessions and help them. Everybody need help right now. Hey, God bless you. And if you want to become a life coach, then make sure that you visit TonyGadsonAcademy.com. The link will be in the description. God bless you. We'll talk soon.